I'm a junior at Milford High School, and I'm a part of the Milford-Great Educators Rising chapter, and have been for the past 2 years. This year is my first year competing though, and I picked exploring non-core subject teaching careers. The career I picked is art teacher. So I decided to shadow my past art teacher, Mrs. Huggins. She's my art teacher all the way from kindergarten to 6th grade, and she's been teaching there from my kindergarten year to present. She studied at Ohio University and got her bachelor's in fine arts as well as education. She has decided to further study in administration and multicultural literature. She's felt that multicultural literature has helped her a lot in her teaching, not only just art, but she loves writing stories for the little kids and creating books for them. So her first job was just after graduation, which can often be hard for an art teacher. There's not much of a need to have an art teacher in every single school. It's usually just one person, and until that one person decides to retire or move on from that career, you're kind of stuck. So she was really lucky for that. This is her art room. As you can tell, it's really colorful, creative. It's really an open environment in there. It does look a little different now than when this picture was taken because the proper social distancing for COVID, but you can tell that her heart and passion is in making this a wonderful room. It also doesn't just stay in the room, it's outside in the school hallways. So she has tons of art in the hallways, filled all the way up to the ceiling. It's pretty awesome. When you walk in there, you feel pretty welcome already. So it's pretty neat to come in here and feel the same on the outside of the room. So what is challenging about teaching a specialized subject? At Pattison, we have gym, library, art, and music, and you're kind of by yourself. Since you are the only one, you don't really have somebody to be like, hey, how are your students doing on this art project? It's pretty different in every single school, but she's by herself, and you can always phone a friend from another person in the district, but it's just not the same as walking across the hall and being like, hey, how are your students? Misconceptions. Every teacher's obviously different, but when you drop your kids off for 45 minutes, what do you think they're doing? Are they free drawing? Are they learning how to draw? What exactly are the students doing in the room? So she wants to be able to create an environment with her students to bring home artwork to their parents, but what do their core teachers know what they're doing? So that can often be a misconception. Grading. Grading is pretty hard, especially for art. How do you know they're getting better through all these years? How do you grade art? Art is pretty much an expression, and it's hard to be like, oh, this isn't perfect, should I give it an 80? It's hard to score art. So she likes to grade it more on, are they participating in class? Are they getting better? Are they paying attention to me? And then what does it take to be a teacher? So she has her bachelor's in art as well as teaching. Then she went on for her further education at Xavier University when she moved here to Milford, and she got her master's there. So she can go into administration, but she feels pretty safe right now with art. It's not just an 8 to 3. No teaching job is. But what do you do for art? How do you lesson plan? How do you follow the curriculum? So she wants to constantly keep growing, as every teacher does, but how do you get it to be perfect? Art is evolving every day, and she wants her students to understand that. And then pacing. This year with COVID, pacing has been extremely hard, and I recognize that through all the classes. We did the same lesson plan all day long with mostly every single grade, and that's not something we want to do. She loves having, sometimes there will be a theme year, and so my theme my year was for the musical The Little Mermaid. So we did a ton of different ocean work, but it's kind of hard to keep on pacing everybody when they're all doing something different. There's been a ton of snow days this year, tons of vaccination days, just off days in general. So sometimes you'll only see one student maybe every 2 weeks, while the other student you'll see every week. Then, what else has made this year hard for these core teachers? it's kind of hard to pace, it's hard to social distance, but it's also hard for an art teacher to share things. You don't have every single thing in supplies. You run out of supplies very easily. Somebody might accidentally take a marker from the room and you're missing a marker now. So it's hard for her to not have everybody share things. And I recognize that you have to fill up double the amount of cups, and these students aren't learning to share things anymore. They're learning everything as their own. Or, oh, this pencil's broken. You need to get the hand sanitizer first before you can do anything. So it's hard to teach these younger children you can't share things anymore when their whole life has been shared. She also has a super hard time. She loves the feeling of one-on-one and group activities, but you can't go to the same table anymore. So when I was in elementary school, we all gathered to the middle table and watched her example, which was pretty amazing. But the thing is that you can't gather around that table anymore and get that awesome feeling of I'm learning. She has to go all the way across the classroom underneath a document camera and show what you're doing, hoping that your students are even paying attention. It's hard to gather their attention. So thank you for your time and consideration.